Okay, so I'm fully aware that I'm not the target audience of this particular game, but I was curious enough about it that when Ryan was like, "Hey, our guy is putting together a list for codes for this game. Do you want to ask to be on that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" Okay, so what we're looking at today is Minecraft Legends. It's this kind of like open worldy strategy Pikmin-ish kind of thing. And the first thing I have to say is that I apologize for the frame rate on this FMV. I could not figure out for the life of me how to get this particular FMV to run smoothly on my PC, which is weird because everything else in this game runs smoothly on my PC. It is massively overspec'd for this particular game, but for some reason the opening just would not behave. But, yeah. So, Minecraft Legends. To paraphrase the plot a little bit, what we have here is, an army of pigs from another dimension invading the Minecraft world, and you have to stop them. It's very silly stuff.
Oh no, they killed the rabbit.
I like how it turned into a meat item upon death, because that's what happens in Minecraft, don't you know? Now, I've never actually played Minecraft. Are you?
No, can't say I have. It's never been my interest.
It's not really that I haven't been interested, it's just that I haven't gotten around to it. That kind of like survival-esque, buildy, survival, open world kind of game is my jam, you know? I just never got around to Minecraft. I've seen Minecraft everywhere. It's one of those things that, like, you have to have been living under a rock to not have been exposed to at some point, but...
It's even in Smash Brothers.
I like how this thing, this spirit here is called Foresight.
Got 4 eyes, yeah.
Yeah. So, right. Okay. So, for the 1.5 people on the planet who don't know what Minecraft is this kind of Lego block building sort of survival, crafting, gathering game that's been around forever. It started, I think, as like one of the earliest big indie success stories, and now Microsoft owns it, I guess, because
Microsoft bought it a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, and there have been a couple of spin-off titles released in recent times, Minecraft Dungeons, I think, and this one, Minecraft Legends. Now, one of the things... Oh, I like this in the intro. They zoom in on this big, massive complex that a player apparently built with all their material drawers and everything. And, like, deep in the bowels of the earth, our diamond armor-wearing Minecraft player is, you know, going through the motions of gathering materials. But no, you get to be the self-insert hero of this other adventure, which apparently takes place in another dimension, I guess, because you don't get to bring this massive complex with you.
Dang. I had all these resources, and then you said no.
I do like the perspective in this cutscene where it's made to look like a Minecraft player in first person, complete with that jank-ass item switching animation. So, basically you've been summoned by these 3 spirits to save the world. It's a pretty basic plot.
Wait, this is an isekai.
Basically, yeah. You don't get to, like, custom build your own hero like you would in Minecraft proper, I don't think. They just give you a bunch of skins that you can choose. You can switch between these at any time, and there are other skins that you can probably buy from Steam or the marketplace or whatever the heck. So that's a thing. There are a couple of different modes, but we're just going to look at the very beginning of the campaign mode for now. But yeah, There's multiplayer. It wouldn't be Minecraft without multiplayer, would it? You can skip the tutorial on subsequent playthroughs, so that's nice. It's not a very long one, though, so...
They said it takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it could take significantly less than 10 minutes if you know what you're doing. Like, it really is just a quick run through a small room where you're told how your basic abilities work. But I'm not going to be showing the tutorial. I'm just going to be jumping straight into the world. Now, the way this game works, fortunately, is that you're never stuck in one place too long digging for, like, resources. Unless it's, like, a specialized resource that you need to find in certain locations and you're out of whatever you need. I imagine that becomes more of an issue later on in the game. But when it comes to your basic stuff like wood and stone, it's everywhere. You just send out your drones. You don't even have to sit around while they gather it for you. They can just gather it for you, and you can run off to the next town, and they'll keep gathering it. It's actually pretty convenient how that works. Most of the time, I think, while you're playing this game, you're going to be running around the world, completing objectives, defending towns, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, plot exposition. Foresight over here is just, you know, telling us all about the piglins and whatever. I have no idea how much of this lore has already been established in the Minecraft universe. Because, like, up until a couple years ago, I didn't even think Minecraft had lore, to be honest. Like, I think there was a Telltale series at some point that might have fleshed things out a little. But like,
there's a good amount of fan lore that's kind of just been adopted by the actual game.
Oh, I see.
From early on, like Enderman.
I see.
Who is also in Smash Brothers.
Because, like, as far as I know, the main Minecraft game, when is either you're just building something out of Lego blocks because you're that kind of player, or when you're actually playing the survival game, you're just sort of plunked down into a randomly generated world, and you have to find resources and start building yourself a base and try to survive the night, because at night the monsters come out.
Or you can just build Minas Tirith.
Well, yeah, but that was the first thing I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see someone get far enough into the main survival game to build Minas Tirith, because I'm sure someone has. It'll be a lonely Minas Tirith, considering that the only, like, actual people there are you and maybe whoever else you're playing with if you're not stuck in single player. But, okay, so here we are. You have your little block horse, your little block hood, your little block worshippers, and, you're ready to go.
Square.
Okay, so everything is square, and you know what? I'm not a big fan of the Minecraft aesthetic, to be honest, the whole blockiness thing, but it is a lot easier to see the charm of it when the camera is this far away from everything. If that makes sense, because, like, when you're playing actual Minecraft, well, I'm pretty sure there's an Elder Scrolls-esque third-person mode that sucks, but mainly you're playing it in first person, so you're right up against the blocks, and, looking at those textures right in front of your face, it's not the best. And, you know, I'm not gonna rag on the game too hard for that because of its, you know, its humble origins, but it never has been the most pleasant thing for me to look at, and I was never much of a Lego kid when I was young, so the nostalgia isn't there either. Anyway, this is how you gather. You send out your little gatherer spirits, and they go gather stuff for you.
So it's Minecraft with the mining kind of stripped away a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
you still have to get stuff, obviously, but they kind of made it so your guys will do it for you, which is a little weird considering that's kind of the whole point of the main game, but this is a spin-off, so...
Well, yeah, it needs to focus on what it's focused on, which is, in this case, the tactical town defense objective clearing, base destroying fun. And you know what? I think the game does have a nice flow to it. I skipped ahead a bit, but basically you make these little spawn machines that make the golems for you. I think the golems exist in basic Minecraft as things that you can build, but I'm not actually sure about that.
Yeah, 10 achievement points.
Yay. Yay. Excellent. Achievement points. Just what I always wanted. But anyway, okay, so town defense. I jumped ahead a bit. This is still at like the beginning of the game when you're learning the ropes, but this here, what we're doing, we're just defending a village that's being raided by piglins. When we get here, there's just a few pigs, you know, a few pig people wandering around. You can attack with your sword. And I guess you start the game with a diamond sword, so that's convenient, but at least your block hero in this game knows how to swing a sword properly. In Minecraft, it's just like you jitter your sword at things and things break. But yeah, we're focused more on a sort of semi-time management sort of. It's a little bit like if you were to set up a construction project in a park builder or something. That's my only point of reference. I don't play these kind of games, but yeah. So you build a little carpenter hut and it'll automatically repair broken stuff nearby for you, that sort of thing. And if you defend towns successfully and keep everything all nice and well intact, the townsfolk will actually reward you with more resources. So that's your incentive to do well here.
That's usually how it goes, yeah.
Yeah. And when you're defending towns, you can put together, like, defensive fortifications to try and make things easier. At this point in the game, all you really need are a bunch of the little arrow towers that the tutorial arrow points out to you. But there are other items down there, too, like walls and gates that you can build. That sort of thing. And you'll have to deal with those kind of fortifications yourself when you raid the piglin bases. So there is a versus mode, so I'd be interested to see how competitive this kind of stuff gets in when it's player versus player.
I imagine pretty competitive, yeah.
Now, I admit when I requested to be put on the list for this particular game code, I was expecting something more Warcraft than Pikmin.
How Pikmin is it?
It's pretty Pikmin. you have your little army of soldiers down there, right? The golems that you build, but you can also, like, I accidentally picked up a sheep, I think. You see there's an animal running alongside my golems there. You can call some animals to your side, you can call some skeletons and creepers to your side, the stuff you would normally be fighting at night in normal Minecraft. But, you know, they're on your side now. Because,
evil piglins.
Yeah. It's like the lurkers in Jak and Daxter.
Brace yourself, hero.
And, you know, you can only get 20 things to follow you at a time, but you can sort of just, you know, bring a group this far, go back for another group, bring that group over to your other group, and get together
Make a bigger group.
Yeah, get together a pretty big army, and if you can get them close enough to your enemies and their fortifications, they will automatically sort of just attack things for you, even if they're not in the group of 20 that you're in control of at the moment. So managing your allies and your golems and your fortifications is all going to be pretty interesting once you get into the meat of it.
Mm-hmm.
This town invasion runs on a simple timer. Once the timer is up, you just have to kill the rest of the piglins that are still there to end the invasion. But, like, this is pretty early game, so it's all pretty simple. You put together enough arrow towers, you barely even have to fight these guys. I don't even think I'm gonna lose a golem.
Huzzah. The arrow towers are pretty accurate.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Just a little longer and
It's,
you've got this.
They have a specific range of attack that shows as a big blue circle when you're placing them. And as soon as enemies enter into that circle, bam, they start shooting. But it does help to go in there and start swinging your sword too, just to make sure that none of the piglins manage to get close enough to the tower to damage it.
Yeah.
Although I imagine once you're further into the game, you'd have more cases of piglins coming from 2 or 3 directions at once, so you'd have to sort of decide how to prioritize that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'll have fancier fortifications to deal with them, so it all gets increasingly more complex as the game goes along.
Yeah, well, it also depends on how much time you have to set up those fortifications, too. You might even have to, like, command your spirit things to build more arrow towers during the battle. Now, I am playing with the controller, by the way. And it works pretty well. It works reasonably okay. We're jumping ahead again. I'm riding a bird now. The bird can glide, so that's nice.
So it's just better than the horse.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure what the specifics of the different mounts are, but there's like, I don't know, a tiger that you can ride. There's this bird that I found by chance while I was running through the open world. And I forget what the 4th one that I saw was, but I did see a 4th one. Look, the skeletons and stuff are coming to fight.
Huzzah.
I like how the Minecraft creepers have no arms, but 4 feet. I have no idea why that is.
What's happening?
Okay.
How did they learn to fight?
By watching our hero.
By watching our hero. Yeah.
We will sit around and do nothing.
That doesn't explain how they learned how to fire a bow and arrow. I'm pretty sure I don't have a bow and arrow.
Is all you have is your sword, or do you get other weapons?
I haven't gotten far enough to get other weapons, but this is a diamond sword, so... I mean, it looks like a diamond sword, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the best weapons in the base game, so...
It is, so... I'm judging that based on Smash Brothers, by the way.
Ah. Yeah.
Where the highest you get in Smash Brothers is diamond.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Steve is busted in Smash Bros, so...
Okay, so... This is gonna look a little herky-jerk because I did insist on using the controller for all of my aiming things, but I would recommend when, like, even if you're playing with a controller, while you're aiming the command thing, just take your hand off the controller and use your mouse. You'll save yourself so much trouble. It really is one of those things that works better with the mouse. Everything else in the game is fine. I don't really have a problem with the way the controller works, but trying to actually aim commands with an analog stick is... I don't know. Maybe I can adjust the sensitivity and make it a little less of a problem, but... And, like, if you invert the Y-axis for your camera, it also inverts the Y-axis for the aiming, and I'm just like...
Why would you do that?
Come on, just give us separate settings for those, will ya? Come on. Anyway, yeah, this is the end of, like, the first portals, the first set of, like, bases that you need to clear out. So I guess you could call this the end of the end of the game's, like, tutorial quest line. Mm-hmm. Like, not the actual tutorial, because that I skipped over, but the quest line that's designed to make sure you know what the hell you're doing for the rest of the game. So you have this big, huge, walled-off base with all these little buildings. There are these like air polluter machines that send out red clouds of gas. You want to stay away from those because they will damage your main character. Apparently their purpose is to make the air in this world breathable to the piglins, so that's a thing. But what you really want to watch out for are these little trapdoor things, because those are the things that produce more piglin soldiers to fight your units. So, yeah. Now, I'm not doing this optimally, because I was still getting the hang of the game as I took on this base. I actually, like, lost all of my golems at some point. But
You can get more, so.
I wonder if the zombies are immune to the gas. That would be interesting. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a big one.
Rally to me, my minions.
And this is where it starts to feel a lot like Pikmin, because you have this big, like, sort of monster thing that you have to... like, there's no... I suppose you could ride up and swing your sword at it, but it
That
hits
won't do
like
very good.
It hits like a truck. So you're gonna want to send your zombies and skeletons and golems to take the thing on, but it's gonna knock them out pretty quickly. I'm already hurting. I'm
Yeah, you're at about
past-
half health.
Yeah. I have all of 3 golems left, although quite a few zombies. So, my actual goal here is to destroy the portal. It took me a while to realize that that was what I was supposed to be doing, because I was kind of tired when I got to this point in the game. But it's actually quite a bit easier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because, like, your minions are all very disposable. You don't really have to worry about not having enough, because it doesn't really take that many resources to build, you know, your basic building smashing stone golems and your anti-personnel wooden archer golems.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point, I didn't realize that I could only have
Carry
20
yeah.
following me, so I just kept doing
Trying to get everyone to follow you.
trying to get everyone to follow me at once. Yes, and it didn't happen. I left a lot of golems behind, and I had no idea why that happened until I like started to experiment with the controls a little. And I'm like, oh. And I'm not sure I really like the way the minion grouping works. Multiple times while I was running around the open world and stuff, I lost track of 1 or 2 golems, and I had no idea where I'd left them behind. But I couldn't build more because you can only have 20 golems active at any one time. The spawners just won't work after that. So maybe there's a trick to it that I just don't know yet, but for now, that's the one major annoyance that I had while I was playing the game, is that I kept losing track of 1 or 2 or 3 golems and not knowing where the hell I left them behind. And if there's a call all golems to me button, well, I couldn't find it. Also, I keep expecting the square button to be the attack button, to be the swing my sword button, because that's what most games do nowadays, but the square button is actually the wave the flag button. So I kept accidentally waving my flag when I meant to swing my sword.
Big piglin down. Good job.
Hey, the big one's down finally.
Yeah, but there is one more. Well, there was one more big one. Now, though, it's time to get my army together properly and take down that stupid portal.
I know, they gave him off the bridge. Follow
What?
me, you dunces. Follow me, you dunces.
That is a bit of an issue when you're running around the open world. You have to be careful about where your minions are going. Because, like, you might avoid the thorny bushes, but they're gonna walk right through them, unless you guide them by the goddamn hand. Like, all the way around the goddamn things. It's annoying.
At least they're easy to respawn, you said, so.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a few. You can build another spawner and make more golems, but like that takes a bit of time, so you don't want to do it too often just because of some thorny bushes that were in your way.
Oh, sure.
All right, get over here, you slackers. Just knocking out the last few buildings between me and victory.
Huzzah.
Don't forget to build a well house. Why would I want to?
Why would we need a well house?
I didn't even see that while I was playing. What is a well house? Why would I want to build one? Okay. So, okay. This is about as far as I got into the game, but I'm actually pretty interested in playing more.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I wasn't expecting to like it quite so much because, well, again, I haven't played Minecraft yet, like, properly, but...
I don't think you need to based on how this game plays.
No, it's pretty simple to pick up, but, like, I feel like there's probably a lot going on in this game's story and world that I will appreciate a lot more once I've played the actual Minecraft. But,
Probably.
you know, I'm glad to have this game now. I'll be looking forward to, like, whenever I get enough time to, like, sit down and play it extensively. But for now, I like it. Look at those square-ass clouds. Jesus.
The world is square. Why don't you three deities do stuff?
Huh?
The knowledge, foresight, and action. Why don't you do things?
It seems like they can't exist in the real world without being spectral ghosts, because that seems to be a thing that happens whenever they're, like, outside of their own special dimension.
Ah, fair enough.
I like these cutscenes, though. Like, there's no dialogue with the piglins. They just pantomime at each other. So, this is the piglin reporting that their portal was destroyed by the Minecraft player. And that's their replica of the Minecraft player.
Just a block. Yep.
A block with an axe. Dude, don't shoot the messenger. I like how Knowledge, the little block person, is the one who sounds all rough and tough, and the giant golem, Action, is, well, sounds like a little kid.
That'll happen. Subvert your expectations with things with characters and like that.
Yeah. Well, that was Minecraft Legends, and I don't know, maybe I'll do more with this later on. Maybe I'll even do a playthrough for the channel at some point in the far-flung future. Who knows? But it was a fun time while I played it, and I'll be looking forward to seeing, like, what the general reception of the game is. So far, it seems like people like it.
That's good to hear. It's always good to have more good games to play.
See y'all later.